Are we saying Ashley Babbitt deserved to get shot? Is that the consensus?
If you are breaking in to a secure space, the United States Capitol,
and the Secret
that is
Service tells you to stop.
That is being
you think that
secured
woman
by
deserved to
Capitol
die?
Police,
You think that woman
and they
deserved to die?
tell you to stop, and you continue to do it. They have a right to use
You think
force
in another law enforcement circumstance where someone's unarmed and they break into a building, they have the right, they're expected to unarmed.
Hold on a second.
Be consistent. Why don't you actually think about what you're saying? Because this is
I'm saying Ashley Babbitt, Ashley Babbitt should not have been shot.
So that was from 3 nights ago on CNN. And I want you to speculate what take they have now regarding what happened to the ICE agent. The reality is that, well, it's two sides again. You know what take a left-leaning person would have, and you know what take a right-wing person would have, with the exception of the Hodge twins. The Hodge twins may actually be deserving a special category. They're a wild card in this. As you can see, this is what they posted on X. They say that this woman's death lies squarely with the Democrats. You incite resistance against ICE by falsely branding them as kidnappers who make families disappear. Meanwhile, this is what they posted on Facebook. Doesn't look like she tried to run over anybody. This is a bad look for ICE. So, these are the yin and yang, if you would, like the Hodge twins. Both of them are white, but they also have like a little bit of black in the middle, right? So like they can hold two different opinions at the same time. Although I have heard interesting takes, people that tried to rescue them from this conundrum. One of it is like, well, maybe one of the twins is running the Facebook account, and another one of the twins is running the X account. Okay, and so, look, they believe in free speech in their family. They're two different individuals, even though they look the same. I'm not being racist, they're twins. They literally look the same. But, you know, they have different takes on the incident. Another explanation is that, well, this is not contradictory. Like, it is a bad look for ICE, but at the same time, you can also blame the Democrats. So, people are pretzeling. But other individuals that are more skeptical are saying that this is grifturing, right? Like, they're griftures. They're basically aware of what the audience wants. Like, the people on Facebook want the leftist take, and so they're going to provide the leftist argument, while the people on X, they want the right-wing take, and so they're going to provide the right-wing argument, right? Like, different strokes for different folks. Yet the thing that fascinates me the most is what the internet is doing right now, and as you can see, like, they're watching the video frame by frame, they're putting in the vectors, they're wondering why didn't the police officer open VATS and shoot the tire? Why didn't he level up in acrobatics so he can backflip away from the car? But was the car going to him or was it going away from him? And to those people, I gotta say, I hope you actually go outside. Like not in the touch grass type of insulting way, but like legitimately, you know, genuinely go outside. Like, move away from your computer and go outside. I think like a lot of these people have never been involved in a street fight in their entire life, okay? Or they have never been in a dangerous situation. They never have been in a car crash or anything that causes adrenaline to rise. Because, my brother in Christ, when you're in that situation, you don't think clearly. Like, you don't have to, the ability to pause the game so you can bend over and look at the tire to see in which way it's positioned. Like, if you're this guy, right, in front of the vehicle, you can't see the tire. Like, you literally cannot. You got Steven Crowder, which made an episode specifically to highlight this. He goes in front of the car with a GoPro camera. And as you can see, like, this is what is the visual when you're in front of a car. And this is exactly what I'm saying. Like, people just don't go outside. Like, I actually do go outside. I know how it's like when you're in front of a car. So, like, the only thing that you're seeing from this perspective is an SUV that's revving the engine.
If everything that you say is true, how does being part of that network justify being shot?
Well, being part of the network doesn't justify being shot, but ramming an ICE officer with your car, that's what justifies being shot. It's not a good thing, by the way, but when you force somebody to engage in self-defense, it's almost a preposterous question. I'm not saying that funding some of this stuff justifies capital punishment. Nobody would suggest that. The reason this woman is dead is because she tried to ram somebody with her car and that guy acted in self-defense. That is why she lost her life, and that is the tragedy. Now, there may be other violations of the law and other penalties that are associated with those violations of the law. For example, if you are funding violence against our law enforcement officers, I'm not a prosecutor. My guess is that's not the sort of thing that earns capital punishment, but it should sure as hell earn you a few years in prison if you're funding the effort to try to assault our law enforcement officers. What is, I'm sorry guys, what's going on here? You guys are meant to report the truth. How have you let yourself become agents of propaganda of a radical fringe that's making it harder for us to enforce our laws? You just asked me a question that presumed that the reason why this woman died is because she was engaged in legitimate protest. She tried to run somebody over with her car, and the guy defended himself when that happened. Next question.
And apparently J.D. Vance also said that there's more to the story. The agent in question was previously ran over by a car. Like, he had stitches. And so I don't think that it is unwise to say that he felt as if he is threatened, right? Again, people watching these videos from the comfort of their own homes completely take away the adrenaline aspect from the situation, completely take the emotional aspect away from the situation. Like, every single nation on planet Earth right now and in history has laws and people that enforce those laws. This is not something like particular to American or evil societies. Like, even the holy Venezuela that a lot of leftists are worshipping now, even that has people that enforce the laws. And the people that enforce the laws, they're not automaton. Again, like, no nation on planet Earth has lobotomized the law enforcement officers. They also have feelings. They also have emotions. They also have families at home. And when they're doing a job that the Democrats make sure that it's as stressful as possible by pushing narratives like they're separating families, they're abducting people, they're kidnappers, they're operating outside the law. And then you have like people funding other individuals to prevent them from doing their jobs. And you have like this dehumanizing language and everything done in order to make them look like Satan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, in that environment, when they tell a person to stop and what they see is that they're revving the car, they're revving the engine, yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, the person that got run over by a car previously may actually feel that their life is in danger. Now here's another interesting aspect of this. The left is saying, well, how would you like it if you were her? Right? Like, how would you like it if it was done to you? How would you like it if it was done to your mother? And I'm sorry, but like I generally can't do it. Like I generally can't put myself in her position. This is not about like me not being able to define how I would feel if I didn't have breakfast last morning. But this is like me not being able to define what it's like if a police officer or any type of law enforcement officer would tell me to step out of the car and my instinct would be to rev the engine. Like, I just cannot put myself into that position at all. Like, for me, if I'm being told to step out of the car, I step out of the fucking car. And if I feel that the officer was abusive or they did something illegal, then I sue them. But I don't do that on the street. I don't argue with someone that has a gun or trying to rev the engine. Now, what I think actually happened is that she probably knew that she did something illegal. Like, she knew that she's going to spend a night in prison. She knew that she's going to get arrested. And so what she tried to do was to escape, right? Like, maybe she didn't want to hit the officer. Maybe she just wanted to escape. At the same time, the officer probably didn't want to shoot her. But, like, if this is an officer that already got rammed by a car and sees this massive SUV revving the engine and moving, like, yeah, he probably thought that his life is in danger. So this could be a situation where both parties didn't want this outcome. Like, obviously the woman didn't want to get shot. Maybe he didn't want to shoot her. But that doesn't change the fact that there is a right and there is a wrong. And if an officer tells you to get out of the car, you get out of the car. And you know what? I think every single leftist listening to this would have gotten out of the car. I am pretty sure that most people, because I saw Hassan Piker arguing with Asmongold over this, and Asmongold is like, oh, I would try to run away. Bullshit! You wouldn't try to run away. I don't think like a Destiny would try to run away. I don't think like Shortfat Otaku would try to run away. I wouldn't run away. I don't think you would have run away. I think most people would have just gotten out of the car. And I think like most people would tell their children to do the same. Am I being wrong here? Am I right? Like, I don't think I'm wrong. I think like this is the normal way to behave in such a situation, because you're jeopardizing not just the officers, but like if you just make a run for it, you're jeopardizing everyone else. Like, how would it look like if leftists would have actually gotten what they wanted and the car would have gotten away, and then a high-speed chase would have ensured in the city? Like, if someone else got hurt, would that be okay? Wouldn't the situation have been diffused? Wouldn't she be alive if she just gotten out of the car? And I see like leftists like, oh, V, so you're telling me that if a masked man would tell your wife to get out of the car, she would get out of the car? And I'm like, okay, so we're doing the thing where leftists pretend that we don't know what we're talking about just so that you can get the smug expression? Because I think, like, we're through that. Like, we're not playing that game anymore. Like, yes, if my wife was told by an officer wearing a mask to get out of the car, yeah, I think she would have got out of the car. The only exception, though, like, okay, fine. Like, there are exceptions to this. If you're in the middle of nowhere, right? So you're in the middle of nowhere and you don't know if the person is legitimately an officer or not. And so, like, you refuse to stop because you may think it's a carjacking or something like that, okay? But we don't apply it here. Like, this was in the middle of a city. There were a lot of people watching. There were protesters there. Like, she knew that they're law enforcement officers. And this is also taking place in the United States, right? Like, it's not Venezuela. It's not China. It's not the Soviet Union. It's like, it's the United States. Even Maduro has rights, apparently, at his trial, right? Like, even he has a right to a lawyer. So, like, no, I think, like, stopping and seeing what the officers wanted was the actual smart play here. And she would have been alive if she'd had done that, right? But, by the way, there's a lot of leftists that say, no, like, V, you're a bootlicker. Imagine if this was in the UK. Right? So, like, you had the British police trying to stop a white guy for some hate speech or some shit. Do you think, like, the leftists would have sided with the guy? No, they would say, no, he should have stepped out of the car. Right? So, I get to see this team-based play. Unfortunately, like, the team-based play on the left seems to be creating martyrs, which I think is on purpose. You see, from the perspective of the left, it's not about the lady itself. It's not even about the officer. It's the fact that they want the deportations to stop. The legal deportations, like not the illegal ones. Including the deportations where you can have rapists, murderers, human traffickers, drug traffickers. Even those, the left wants them to stop. And so they're going to use literally anything they can in order to portray the ICE agents as demonic. And this is the game here, right? This is why people are so invested. It's like, well, what was the side of the wheel? Was it to the left? Was it to the right? Did she back up? Did she... The reason they're doing this is not because, like, they really care about this individual case. But if they were to say that the lady was actually trying to run away and she got shot regardless, then that is a justification for riots. Like, that is a justification for the left to do the summer of love again. Especially before the midterms, right? And so they're trying to sell a narrative to the normies in order to say, look, if we're going out, we're going to do the leftist thing that we always do. We're going to have peaceful protests by day, violent riots by night. Right? So, like, the peaceful protests by day are for the cameras, for the CNN, for getting to see how everyone is joining hands, they're standing against oppression. And by night, they burn down businesses. Like, that is the leftist MO. And they need the normies to be on board with that. Like, they need the normies to join their protests, because the left isn't that big in numbers, right? But they need the normies to join their protests, to sing along, to spread the stuff on Twitter, to retweet, to like, to comment and subscribe. And so, like, they need a story right now. They need something for the normies. And this is why they pay people to go out of their way to try to stop law enforcement officers from doing their job and putting people in dangerous situations. Because apparently, like, this lady wasn't even from the area. Like she had to move miles in order to do this, right? To block ICE agents with her car by parking it sideways. Like someone paid her to put herself in danger, right? Do you think that person feels bad now? Like, do you think that person is, like, legitimately remorseful and being like, oh, shit, look what I've done? Or is it like, oh, this is a great news for the media. Hopefully, they managed to frame it in a way that gets us closer to the goal. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.